The impact of Ohio's 6-week abortion ban coming to light.
We've had to turn away more than 90% of our patients.
It's been more than 1 decade since the heartbeat bill was first introduced.
Whose choice? My choice!
In 2019, it was signed into law, only to be challenged and put on hold until the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade 3 years later.
It's a celebration that human lives are supposed to be protected by law.
And the heartbeat law was back until it was challenged again.
Access to abortion in Ohio is absolutely on a razor's edge.
And questions over Ohio's abortion laws still remain, even after last year's vote to enshrine abortion rights into the state constitution. But what is becoming more clear tonight, what happened during those 11 weeks after Roe v. Wade was overturned and the 6-week abortion ban was in effect. New data shows just how many Ohioans traveled out of state in 2022 to obtain an abortion. News 5's Clay Lepard is following through tonight, breaking down the new numbers and what they tell us.
We already know Ohio saw a 15% decline in the number of abortions performed in 2022, thanks to statistics from the Ohio Department of Health. But does that mean there were fewer abortions, or did women just go elsewhere? Brand new data published by the Pennsylvania Department of Health shows more than 1,300 Ohioans traveled to Pennsylvania in 2022 to obtain an abortion, more than 2.5 times more than the 557 in 2021. Among those were 6 girls under the age of 15.
Majority of them probably tried to call us or one of the other clinics in Ohio first.
Dr. David Burkons runs 2 clinics here in Northeast Ohio, one in Shaker Heights and the other in Cuyahoga Falls, the closest clinics to the Pennsylvania border.
We were having to refer these people to these other states, and particularly in Pennsylvania, they were the 2 clinics that are in the Pittsburgh area were just overwhelmed.
These numbers out of Pennsylvania match what we already learned from other neighboring states. Michigan saw a 65% increase in abortions performed by those coming from out of state.
This young girl, if she exists...
Remember the 10-year-old girl who traveled to Indiana after she was raped? The one state officials questioned? She makes up one of the 611 people from Ohio in 2022 who made the trip across state lines into Indiana. In 2021, that number was only 40.
We saw the storm brewing. We actually opposed the Dobbs decision.
Austin Beigel runs End Abortion Ohio, a growing coalition of advocates dedicated to creating a total abortion ban.
If you're going to overturn Roe v. Wade, it needs to be done with personhood and equal protection for the preborn human being. Don't just send it back to the states. Essentially, it's going to turn into the wild, wild west.
Beigel is part of the team helping push for a statewide ban and eventually a federal ban. Not at all what Dr. Burkons wants. However, both agree these statistics show people will still seek abortions, legal or not. They just differ with what to do about it.
Abortion is something that you cannot get rid of. People are going to seek abortions all the time. And one way or the other, whether it's legally or illegally, they're going to get it.
Unless it's like explicitly illegal and considered a criminal act in your state, like this is killing a person, there's no risk for that person. They've decided they want to do this action. They're going to find a way to do it 9 times out of 10.
Clay Lepard, News 5.
Now, as for where Ohio's abortion law stands right now, it's legal until viability, or until a fetus is developed enough to survive outside the uterus. The 6-week abortion ban and the impact of the constitutional amendment passed by voters in November, those are still being decided in the courts.